Hi, everyone. Well, the time is upon us for me to share my favorite books of the year. This was a tough list to make. I kind of went with like really the top. My top five were even kind of like 6-star books. I'm going to split it into two parts. So this video is going to be number 10 through number 6, and I will make another video of 5 through 1. So stay tuned for that. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to start with the retinol serum and my honorable mention, which is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jennette McCurdy. This one kind of felt like it defied rating. And I didn't want to put it on this top 10 because I don't know, it feels icky to rate it because it's such a gutting story that actually happened to someone. The writing in it is simplistic, and that's not a bad thing. It actually functions really well to help emphasize how young she actually was when this happened. She constantly refers to her mother as mommy, and it just does things to you. No notes. This is a memoir I will never forget. I bought this under eye brightener on TikTok, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Okay, so number 10 is The Ministry of Time by Kaliane Bradley. I know that this book is divisive. Some people love it, and some people really don't. And if you don't, I'm not going to argue with you. I get why you don't. This book defied classification, and that proved confusing and unappealing for many, and I get it. It's about a mysterious government agency that can manipulate time and control history, and the political and moral implications that happen therein are all really explored. But there's also historical figures coming forward to live in our time, which is always a trope that I love. And I just fell in love with these characters. I think from a writer perspective, not that I'm a published writer, but I aspire to be a writer, I was also just surprised and impressed with how much Kaliane Bradley got to say and do in like not that long a book. Number 9 is All's Well by Mona Awad. If you saw my earlier video about this book, I admitted that while I gave it 5 stars, it was a hard read. But this book has really stuck with me. This is what can only be described as a surreal novel, treading a balance beam between comical and depressing AF. So this book is about a former actress turned Shakespearean theater director at a college. She's suffering from a chronic and just devastating pain from an accident she had as an actress, and no one believes her, and it sort of isolated her in her life. But then she meets 3 mysterious people, and they offer her a solution to every one of her problems. If you love Shakespeare, you'd probably love this book. Number 8 is Chain Gang All-Stars by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah. What would happen if someone decided to bring back gladiators in the modern era? This book is a cutting, scathing, satirical, touching, and terrifying critique of the prison industrial complex and an exploration of what this dystopian gladiatorial competition might look like. And it felt far too possible, especially in our world where televised sports and reality shows are like main forms of entertainment. It hit very close. Oof. But it still managed to be gorgeously written, and it's a beautiful character study as well. Number 6 is Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. We love an epic multi-generational saga that follows a family through struggle, sacrifice, and resilience, don't we? This one's about a Korean family as they move from rural Korea to 20th century Japan, navigating their identities, the choices that they've made, and the consequences of those choices, the romantic and familial love, and death and survival. Prepare to sob. I did on a train surrounded by strangers, but it was worth it. I'm going to be using a combination of colors on the eye, but mostly this fresh palette by ColourPop. Okay, number 6 is Trust by Hernan Diaz. I have never read a book like this one. It's told through multiple perspectives, and it's just unraveling the mysteries surrounding a Wall Street tycoon that could have very well existed. In fact, I think he's based on somebody who did exist, and the woman behind his success. This book literally plays with the title by being about the financial world, so being about trusts, but then, of course, by having the characters playing fast and loose with the concept of trust and honesty, but also by teaching you, the reader, to be careful what you trust while reading. I just felt like it was quite a feat, not just because it made the stock market supremely interesting to me, which, let me tell you, is indeed a feat, because this book really isn't about the stock market. It's about people, and it's about trust. All right, check out part 2 to see my top 5.